What's up, you guys? How y'all doing, man? I know I'm doing a whole lot of videos today, but I'm running off today, and this is my hobby. This is what I like to do. As you see, I'm sitting out here in my porch, door closed. Um, About to go ahead and light me up a black and mild, relax, and stare at my beautiful aquarium. I think it's a beautiful anyway. That's what it's all about in this hobby, finding peace in what you see beauty in. Everybody thinks their tank is beautiful. Oh man. But let me see. Since I'm on recorder right now, I guess I dropped some information to the new Aquarius. Getting into the African cichlids. Give them a couple tips, I have at hand that I have learned through a lot of research and YouTube channels and just watching. I give you a few tips here. Being a fish keeper of African cichlids per se, you don't want to have the same fish. Like you see here, I have I have two venustas. And as one grows older, I'll be able to tell. Well, first off, I know he a male because I bought him as a male from Live Fish Direct. That one I got one bigger than a half a size of penny from Petco. So I don't know what it is, male or female. But I knew I wanted a male, and they had a male going for sale. It wasn't colored all the way up already, but somehow they had it sexed at like 2 inches or 2.5 inches, which was great. But he just now starting to get a little bit of blue side of his bottom of his lip. If you can see there, he's a moving type of guy. He got a little hint of blue. It's definitely a male. So what I'm trying to say is, don't get two of the same species because they'll become more territorial, competing for food more or less, and they'll fight and fight and fight and fight. And if you do have two males, get them some females inside of there. Like I have two dolphins there that kind of contradict this rule, because dolphins are like fish that want to be in packs of their own. It's more common people have 3 or more dolphins inside of an aquarium together for the simple fact that that's their type of behavior and that's the type of habitat they require, like most fish have requirements. But that's a male and a female, and they pair it off. She's a douche, or that a word to use. She was pregnant at one time, but she wanted to eat so bad, she kind of like just spat out her little eggs and got to eating or whatever. So she's no longer pregnant, and that sucks because before I got my Madoka white lips, those are like my favorite fish in the hobby, the bluefish. So that's one. Pick your stocking list wisely. Just don't get a whole bunch of fish that you like the colors. Try to get one fish per species in an aquarium. And if you get African cichlids, think about the tank size. Like if you're going to keep peacocks or you're going to keep haps, they get about, most of them, some of them get 8 inches, like that boilie right there. He's about 6 inches right now. He's only going to get about 8 inches. That's the redfin boilie right there with the blue face. He gets about 8 inches, pushing 6 now. That's a big boy. But most of these haps in here are going to get about 10 inches plus. So you want about a 6-foot aquarium. This is a 125. You want this is a minimum for a hap aquarium per some of the haps I have. Some haps, like I said, the boilie I guess only 8 inches. Like I have that Exochromis anagenus, that yellow one right there. You can get about 12 inches. Some might get bigger. So I need that 6-foot aquarium. So that's that. And then another tip with the African cichlids is, don't just feed them one diet either. You have pellet foods. Like I have seaweed right here. Green seaweed. It's low in protein, so they can have a low protein day, so they won't always be eating high protein diets all the time or what have you. I bounce around, man. I still got my omega 1. Matter of fact, It's a brand new bottle. I still feed that, you know. I got my cichlid formula. It's pretty good. And also, I got my new light spectrum, you know. These guys are crazy for the fish. I mean, foods. They eat so much food, you know. Give them a variety. Give them a lot of flavors. Layer fish. As well as I feed them peas. I feed them frozen krill. You know, I got some refrigerator items for them and stuff like that. So that's 2 things right there. Let's see another tip. Well oxygenate your tanks. You see I have a lot of fish here. That's past the rule of thumb. I think it's what, 1 inch per gallon or something like that. So these fish require a lot of oxygen and a lot of space. You know, like this tank right here is you know, well oxygenated. I have wave makers here that's pumping surface agitation to give them O2. They require some good oxygen. Make sure your tank is oxygenated very well, because if you have an African cichlid aquarium, 9 out of 10 you're going to be overstocking, but to ease aggression. You know, that's very important inside this hobby. You know, some fish get real aggressive. Overfiltrate. Man, you definitely want to overfiltrate when you have an African cichlid aquarium. I run 2, 3, or 4 bee suns inside of here. I have a lot of I don't know the word to use, but I have a lot of stuff to collect the bacteria and to colonize well to hold the bio load per se, like Cichlids Matrix, Bio Home Ultimate, Poly Rings, Bio Balls, Pillow Floss. I mean, it's a lot of things to hold the bio load for all these fish in this aquarium so it won't be toxic, you know. And make sure you do your research on that too, man. You want to filter your tank at least 3 times over. I know people say 2 times is good, but if you have an African cichlid aquarium, I think 3 times over is minimum, you know, because they're gonna be growing, they're gonna be eating a lot, they're gonna be pooping, they're gonna be boo-booing and all that good stuff. So you want to keep the water pretty pristine for these guys, so they won't get bloat, you know, stressed out, flashing all on your rocks and your substrates and stuff like that. You'll start seeing signs. You don't want those problems. And another thing is when you have these African cichlids, it's also overstocked. So you want to do your weekly water changes. Do 1 a week. Sometimes I do 1.5, meaning I do a good 70% water change. I drop my water. You look at my other video I said today, about to that rock right there. I mean, it comes all the way down, just about right there. And it's my 1. And then I do a 0.5. I might come about right here, about 20% per se. You know, just a little touch up. But I collect all my water, change water from the substrate. I use crushed coral. This is crushed coral. This is not pebbles. This holds a purpose. These are African cichlids. You want to have a high pH per se. You know, close to acidic. You know, most freshwater fish, you know, like Oscars or Hardy and stuff, they probably require between 7.4. These African cichlids, more or less, they require a very high pH, like 8.0. But I tell you something with that too as well. I mean, there's another trick out there where a lot of people use baking soda, a tablespoon per gallon per se, and helps it out to become more acidic or high pH levels. Or you can buy the Malawi salts from the store. But me, myself, I stay away from changing my pH, you know, because where I'm living at, my pH already comes out about a 7.6, 7.8, so that's pretty stable minimum for these fish. But then again, I have my crushed coral to back that up, and everything works out pretty fine with my aquarium. Stability and pH. All right. Okay. So when you have African cichlids as well, you don't want to overfeed, because overfeeding causes bloat and a lot of things. But I particularly don't believe in overfeeding is a bad thing. I don't think you can overfeed a fish. These guys that eat all day. It's what you do and how you do it. As long as your fish are swimming, being very active, they're burning those calories, and everything is pretty good. So what I like to do when I say burning calories, yeah, I'm getting kind of like PE, right? So I'm gonna tell you something. Add your aquarium salt. It promotes fish health. Kind of hard to see, ain't it? Let's see. Promotes fish health, improves gill function, adds essential electrolytes. This right here helps the fish gills be able to flap, thrive, keeps them very active and stuff, and it promotes fish health. So, with that being said, they're getting their exercise in so they can eat a lot more. They're not just like calm fish. They're not just eating a whole box of pizza and sitting on the couch and watching the football game full, bloated, sitting there. All right. Another thing is, I add my Epsom salts right here. And what the Epsom salt does, it's pretty simple. It's a laxative. It helps the fish boo-boo. It promotes the fish organs to be more at an accelerated pace. So, I'll have my temperature around 80, 81, a very high tropical temperature, normal, not too high, because the hotter the temperature, it does reduce the oxygen inside of the aquarium. But then again, you guys, you have the oxygen through your wave makers. That backs up that theory of losing oxygen because it's hot. You following me? And this aquarium salt will have them being refreshed like Gatorade so they can continue to swim and thrive and exercise throughout the aquarium. And then you have the Epsom salt. The Epsom salt will allow the fish to move as a laxative, to be able to boo-boo more frequently so they can keep eating more, and that will help them to grow faster and stuff like that. And what I also like to use is instant ocean Rift Lake salt, and that's more or less a trace mineral for calcium, magnesium. Those are trace elements in the lakes where they come from, more or less. I know all fish don't come out of the Lake Malawi. Maybe they come out of Lake Petco or Lake Southeast Cichlid or whatever. Like that little sticker right there. It's a badass sticker there, man. Southeast Cichlid, man. Shout out to Butch. He made a couple of these dream fish come through for me. Like that fossil chromis stratus come from Southeast Cichlid. That Buco Odesii yellow comes from Southeast Cichlid. The Exochromis anagenis right there. But anyway, I'm getting off track now. Let's see what's another tip I can use for you guys. Oh, quarantine your fish before you get new fish inside of an aquarium. I know you'll see a lot of YouTube videos, people acclimating fish, float them in the bags and put them in the aquariums with the new fish. But that new fish can bring a disease, and you don't want that problem. And if you do it that way, I can tell you how to reduce that factor. Get you some 5-gallon buckets. You hear me? Get you a fish net. Put that fish net over that bucket and pop that bag like that old water that fish done flew in, or you done drove the fish from the fish store, whatever that water is that came originally with that fish, go in that 5-gallon bucket, and then put that fish in that tank. Don't put that dirty water that come in that fish bag inside of your aquarium, because now you're risking that fish, you're risking that fish, you're risking that. You're putting all these fish at different risk that don't need to be put in those scenarios. You know what I mean? So think about the fish and take your time when you getting new fish, and make sure the person you're getting it from is a well-known supplier, because you don't want one sick fish to mess up a whole stock of healthy fish. No way, Jose. You don't want that problem. You sure don't. Hold on for 1 second. Thanks for holding, you guys. And if you've been watching this video all the way to 14 minutes, man, thank you. I really appreciate you sitting here listening to what I have to say. But what I did while I was had y'all on hold, that quick hold, I went and got me some food pellets, because I'm gonna go ahead and feed these guys. This will be the second time I fed them today. I fed them once this morning. I fed them krill, freeze-dried krill rather. I'm sorry. Where's the let's see. Oh, here we go. So I did freeze shrimp. I'm sorry, freeze-dried shrimp by Omega One. They have I told you they have a big food group. That dimity look good, don't it? But I fed them that earlier. So I'm gonna feed them some pellets now. But you see I got pellets in that jar up there. And I'm gonna feed them pellets soaked. That way it can expand. So if you feed your fish soaking pellets, it'd be easier for them to digest. You know, these are like your babies. You know, like you got baby food and you got the little baby spoon, the little baby jar, the baby sauce. It's easy for the baby to eat. You know, the baby don't have no teeth or as many teeth to chew a steak yet per se. So you'll soak your pellets so the fish can be able to enjoy those foods while it's easier to digest and it'll help them boo-boo. You know? And it's also good, you guys, if you get in this hobby. I showed you a lot of different foods. That's omega-1, New Light Spectrum. I got Super Color Flakes. I got Northfin. So you got Northfin fish foods, omega-1 pellets, omega-1 color flakes, and then you got New Light Spectrum. Those are all good food choices for these haps. I mean, you want something with high protein so these fish can be able to grow and thrive, so they won't lack the nutrients that their bodies require, more or less. Hold on again. Thank you for holding. I shouldn't be showing you this because this is just nasty what I did. I basically had this test tube with my it's called a freshwater master kit, and it checks my nitrate, my nitrites, my ammonia, and my pH. And I tested this tank maybe about 2 weeks ago because, you know, this tank has been running for a couple months, and you know I'm pretty good in the hobby, and I stay on my regimens and my water changes. So, and I'm not adding any fish, I'm not feeding any more or any less. I'm doing what I always do, so I know, you know, I'm always get the same results. You know, unless, well, not always. It's good to take your water parameters because you might have a spike and you don't know it, so it's good to stay on top. So also get yourself a test kit. This right here is called a freshwater master test kit right here, and basically what it does is it allows you to test your water parameters for all the required needs for this aquarium, for your fish per se that you might be getting. You'll be wanting to test the waters and stay up on that. This is the kit. In the back of it, it tell you the volumes and the levels that you want your fish to thrive at. You would definitely want this. It's like your fish Bible right here. It's something you really need inside of this hobby right here. You want to know what's your parameters. Look at a lot of YouTube videos like Ben Ochart, KG Tropicals, Colin, IFG. These are just some African cichlid channels that I watch, and it helped me out along the way. And just listening to those guys ramble on about their mistakes, their their experiences or their knowledge for the hobby, and it helped out a lot. So look at tons of YouTube videos, do your research, know what type of fish you're getting, know how many you're gonna get in what size tank, and always go bigger the better. I started off with a 55 gallon. I had over 60 fish inside of it. You can go into my old videos and view, but I knew I wasn't stopping there. And then I purchased this tank, and I'm up to 9 tanks running, 10 tanks total. Well, I'm gonna leave you guys with that. This video is so long because I'm gonna slow down on making videos for a while because I want to just sit back and relax and enjoy my own fish and watch them grow and advance on their own accelerated pace. And then I'll give you guys an update. And pretty much want you to get a good visual of what's inside of my aquarium. You can look at my videos. I did stock lists and I did a lot of informations. But I'm going to growing my fish out and enjoying them, and I'll give you all an update. And if you were newer to this hobby, man, comment back and let me know if it helped you out with some information. I'm gonna leave y'all with a feeding. So here we go. So right here I have the pellets soaking in. A lot of them fell to the bottom. That's good. I mean, they're water heavy. Some still floating at the top. That's all right as well. And then you have the fish down here who are ready to eat. They'll give me a good splash. And they're ready to eat. That's what they do. So here it go. As you see, it didn't stand a chance. I'll go ahead and finish a little bit that I have in there. Sometimes it gets stuck on a jar. You just put it in there like that. You'll get it out. But yep, you guys, that's my video. And that was New Life Spectrum. I know a lot of people say they moving over to the North End because it's a good pellet. It is, but they're a lot smaller. And with that being said, they said other foods junk your tank up. Not about as junky as it got. It's a little hazy, but I could live with that there. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be interacting with you all though. I won't be off of YouTube. I'll be commenting on everybody who comments on this post and everybody who I have subbed up. So I'll be talking to you, but you guys take care and leave a post.